All right, so today let's dive into something fun.
Okay.
Adult sailing and windsurfing in Helsinki.
Yeah.
Specifically, we're setting our compass towards the Helsingfors Sällskap, HSS for short,
Yeah.
and their renowned Sailing and Windsurfing Center.
Excellent choice.
So,
HSS has quite the reputation,
yeah,
and their center is a hub for both seasoned sailors
right.
and those just dipping their toes in the water.
And that's what makes it so interesting, right?
Yeah.
Whether you are practically a barnacle yourself or
Mm.
someone who barely knows a jibe from a jibe,
Yeah,
there's something here to learn.
absolutely.
So walk us through it.
Okay.
What kind of courses do they offer for those of us who might be total beginners?
Well, HSS makes it clear that you don't need prior experience to get started. They have beginner courses for both sailing and windsurfing.
Okay.
In fact, a lot of their past participants are from diverse backgrounds and
Uh-huh.
have never even touched a sailboat before.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious about the specifics.
Okay.
What does a typical beginner course look like?
Sure.
In terms of schedule and content.
For sailing, they offer weekend courses that typically run from Friday evening to Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
These courses include a blend of theory and practice,
Mm-hmm.
starting with indoor sessions where you'll learn the basics of sailing.
So like learning the parts of a boat and how to, not tip over.
Exactly. You'll also get some time on their land-based simulator,
Okay.
which I have to say is a pretty cool feature.
Really?
It's a safe and controlled environment.
A simulator?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Where you can get a feel for how the boat reacts to wind and movement
Okay.
before ever setting foot in actual water.
That does sound pretty neat. Almost like those flight simulators you see, but for sailing.
Exactly.
Okay, so once you've got the simulator down
Yeah.
and the weather's cooperating, you actually get out on the water.
Now, for windsurfing,
Okay.
it's a slightly different approach.
Got it.
They have more flexible scheduling options throughout the week and weekend,
Okay.
including weekday evening and weekend daytime slots.
So someone with a 9 to 5 could potentially squeeze in
Yes.
a windsurfing course during the week.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And similar to the sailing courses,
Right.
they have options for all levels.
Mm-hmm.
Their beginner courses focus on getting you comfortable with the equipment,
Okay.
understanding how to read the wind,
Right.
and most importantly, mastering the art of staying upright.
I imagine staying upright is key in
Yes.
this whole windsurfing thing.
Absolutely. But for those who want to take their skills even further,
Okay.
HSS has coached training groups in both sailing and windsurfing.
Oh, so you're not just left to fend for yourself after the beginner course.
Not at all. They have a really supportive system in place.
Okay.
For sailing, you can join the Basics and Leisure group
Okay.
if you're just looking to build on what you learned in the beginner course. Or if you're feeling a bit competitive,
Yeah.
there's the RS Toura Racing group.
Okay.
And for the truly ambitious,
Yeah.
they have the Elliott Racing and League Racing groups.
League racing, that sounds serious.
Yes.
Are we talking like professional level sailing here?
Pretty much. They're talking about putting together teams for the Finnish Sailing League.
Wow.
So it's definitely next level stuff.
Okay.
And for those interested in windsurfing,
All right.
they have the Windsurfing Basics and Windsurfing Advanced groups to further develop your skills.
This is fantastic. It's like a clear progression path
Right.
for both sailing and windsurfing enthusiasts.
Exactly.
And before we get ahead of ourselves
Yeah.
and start picking out our racing gear,
Sure.
there was something you mentioned earlier, tryout day.
Yes.
What's that all about?
Yes. That's something new HSS is offering,
Okay.
and it's generating quite a buzz.
What is it?
They're hosting a special tryout day specifically for wing foiling.
Wing foiling. Now that sounds intense.
It is.
I'll admit, I'm picturing something straight out of a futuristic action movie.
Imagine this. You're practically flying above the water on a board
Okay.
with this handheld inflatable sail.
Wow.
It's quite the sight, and the adrenaline rush is incredible.
Okay, now I'm definitely intrigued,
Yeah.
but I have to ask.
Sure.
Is this tryout day only for those who are already skilled
Yeah.
windsurfers or foilers?
Not at all. That's the beauty of it.
Okay.
It's designed for anyone who's ever been curious about wing foiling,
Right.
regardless of their experience level.
Okay.
Of course, there will be expert guidance on hand
So,
to ensure everyone's safety and to provide a proper introduction to this thrilling sport.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
So to be clear,
Yeah.
you could be someone who's never even stood on a surfboard,
Right.
let alone a wing foil,
Mm.
and still participate in this tryout day.
Exactly. It's a fantastic opportunity for anyone who's ever dreamed of gliding across the water,
Wow.
practically defying gravity, to give it a shot in a safe and controlled environment.
Okay, you sold me. I'm adding wing foiling to my list of things to try.
Excellent.
But before we all rush out to sign up,
Yes.
let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
We've talked about the courses and the training, but what about the community aspect?
Sure.
Tell me, what's it like to be a part of HSS beyond just the sailing and windsurfing?
Yeah.
From what I'm gathering, HSS is more than just a place to learn how to sail or windsurf.
Absolutely.
There's a real sense of community there.
HSS understands that sailing is more than just a sport or a hobby. It's a lifestyle.
Right.
They've cultivated a welcoming and inclusive community
Okay.
where members can connect through their shared passion for the water.
That's fantastic. So what are some of the things that make the HSS community so special?
Wow.
I know you mentioned social events earlier.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here, like regatta watch parties?
Well, they do have events centered around regattas,
Okay.
but it goes far beyond that.
Okay.
Think legendary after-sale gatherings where members swap stories and share sailing tips over drinks.
Okay.
They also have themed parties throughout the year.
Oh.
Barbecues on Liskasari Island.
Okay, you had me at Island Barbecues.
Right.
Liskasari Island. This place is quickly becoming the stuff of legend.
Yeah.
What more can you tell me about it? Is it actually as idyllic as it sounds?
It really is. Imagine this. A beautiful island nestled in the heart of the Helsinki archipelago,
Okay.
complete with stunning waterfront views,
Wow.
and a sense of tranquility that's hard to come by on the mainland.
It sounds like the perfect escape from the hustle and bustle of city life.
Precisely. And remember those social events we were talking about?
Yeah.
Well, Liuskasari Island is home to two fantastic restaurants, HSS Paviljon and Skiffer.
Okay.
Both offer delicious food, stunning waterfront views.
Nice.
And guess what? HSS members get discounts.
Okay, now you're just trying to convince me to move there.
Right.
But seriously, it sounds like Liuskasari Island plays a central role in the whole HSS experience.
It really does.
Yeah.
And here's something else that makes it unique.
Okay.
They have a large dock specifically designated for classic sailing boats.
Classic sailing boats.
Yes.
We're not just talking about modern sailboats here.
Not at all. Many of the skippers of these classic boats are HSS members themselves.
Wow.
And they're often happy to welcome fellow members on board for a sail
Really?
or even a race if you're feeling adventurous.
That's incredible. It's like stepping back in time and experiencing the history and craftsmanship of sailing firsthand.
Right.
It seems like there's something for everyone at HSS,
Yeah.
regardless of whether you're a seasoned sailor or a complete novice.
Right.
But you also mentioned something about volunteer opportunities and taku work.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Of course. Taku is a Finnish concept that emphasizes community spirit and collaboration. It's essentially volunteer work, but with a strong emphasis on camaraderie and shared purpose.
So like everyone gets together
Yes.
to like spruce up the docks or something.
It's all about members contributing what they can, no matter how big or small,
Right.
to keep the HSS spirit alive and thriving.
It's great that they have this system in place.
Yeah.
It gives members a sense of ownership and responsibility within the community.
Exactly.
But I know there are people listening who might be thinking,
Sure.
that's all well and good, but I have a job, a family, and a very limited amount of free time.
Right.
Is there a way for people with busier schedules to still contribute and be a part of the HSS community?
Absolutely. HSS understands that not everyone has the same amount of free time
Right.
to dedicate to volunteer work.
Yeah.
That's why they have a system in place
Okay.
where members earn club work points.
Club work points.
Yes.
That sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So every HSS member at the Sailing and Windsurfing Center is expected to accumulate a certain number of these club work points each season.
Okay.
Think of it as a way to quantify everyone's contributions.
Okay.
But the great thing is,
Yeah.
there's flexibility built into the system.
Flexibility in the sense that there are many different ways to earn these club work points.
Exactly. And for those who might be short on time,
Okay.
there's even the option to make a financial contribution to the club
Oh.
in lieu of completing the full amount of club work hours.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It sounds like they've really thought of everything
They have.
to make HSS accessible and welcoming for people from all walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of access, let's shift gears and talk about the practical aspects of sailing and windsurfing at HSS.
Okay.
We've covered the courses in the community.
Right.
But what about the equipment? I have to admit I'm getting pretty eager to actually get out on the water at this point.
Yeah.
But before we set sail, let's talk about the practicalities.
Okay.
What kind of equipment can HSS members get their hands on?
Well, HSS takes pride in maintaining a modern and well-maintained fleet of boats and windsurfing equipment.
Okay.
For those interested in dinghy sailing, they have RS Torres, which are known for their stability and ease of handling,
Right.
making them ideal for both learning and leisure sailing. Okay.
Then there are the Elliott 6 meets,
Okay.
which are a step up in terms of performance.
Okay.
These are Olympic-class keelboats designed for speed and agility.
Wow. Olympic class. That's impressive.
Hmm.
Sounds like they've got something for everyone, from casual cruisers to aspiring Olympians.
Yeah.
But what about the windsurfing enthusiasts? What kind of boards do they have available?
HSS offers a variety of windsurfing boards
Right.
to cater to different skill levels and preferences.
Mhm.
They have Techno 293s,
Okay.
which are popular for both learning and intermediate windsurfing.
Right.
These boards offer a great balance of stability and maneuverability.
Okay.
For those who prefer a more classic windsurfing experience, they have Windsurfer LTs,
Okay.
known for their versatility and ease of use.
And for the adrenaline junkies, they have Simmer AMP freeride boards,
Wow.
which are designed for speed and high-performance windsurfing.
Okay. You've officially convinced me to sign up for windsurfing lessons.
Good.
But let's talk about how one actually gets their hands on this amazing equipment.
Sure.
I know you mentioned skipper rights earlier.
Yeah.
What exactly are those, and how do we go about getting them?
Skipper rights are essentially your ticket to independent sailing within the HSS community.
Okay.
It's how HSS ensures that anyone operating their boats independently
Right.
has the necessary skills and experience to do so safely and responsibly.
That makes sense. So it's not just a matter of showing up and saying,
Right.
hey, I want to take that Elliott 6 meters out for a spin.
Not quite. To obtain skipper rights, you need to demonstrate your sailing proficiency. Generally, this involves completing the beginner sailing course and then receiving a recommendation from your coach who will have assessed your skills and knowledge throughout the course.
So it's like a graduation of sorts.
Yeah.
You complete your training, get your instructor's seal of approval,
Right.
and then you're free to roam the high seas,
Yes.
or in this case, the Helsinki archipelago.
Exactly. Once you have that recommendation, you simply fill out an application form.
Okay.
And once that's approved, you're granted skipper rights for the specific class of boat you're qualified for.
Okay.
It's important to note that with these rights comes the responsibility of ensuring the safety of your crew and the equipment.
Right.
You're expected to be familiar with maritime rules and regulations
Hmm.
and to prioritize safety at all times.
All right, so with great skipper rights come great sailing responsibilities.
Exactly.
But assuming you've got your skipper rights
Yeah.
and you're ready to hit the water,
Right.
what's the process for actually booking the equipment?
HSS has a really streamlined booking system which you can access online.
Uh.
Once you have your skipper rights, you can log in to the system,
Mm-hmm.
choose your preferred boat or windsurfing equipment, and reserve it for the date and time that works for you.
Okay.
They've even integrated it with Google Calendar, so you can easily see availability and schedule your sailing adventures.
Wow, that's incredibly convenient.
It is.
So no more frantic phone calls or scrambling to secure your spot.
Exactly.
But what about after your sail?
Yeah.
What's the protocol for returning the equipment?
Well, HSS asks that all skippers take a few minutes to fill out an equipment report after each use. Okay. It's a quick and easy way to document the condition of the boat or windsurfing board,
Right.
noting any damages or issues.
So it's like a post-sail checkup,
Yes.
making sure everything's shipshape for the next sailor.
Exactly. It's a simple but crucial step in ensuring the longevity of their equipment
Okay.
and maintaining the high standards that HSS is known for.
Well, there you have it.
Right?
It seems like HSS has truly thought of everything to create a seamless and enjoyable experience for their members.
Yeah.
From the variety of courses and training to the vibrant community and the streamlined equipment booking and reporting system, they've truly set the stage for unforgettable adventures on the water.
They have indeed, and for those listening who might be feeling a bit overwhelmed with all this information, don't be. HSS has a wealth of resources available on their website and through their various communication channels.
Okay.
They encourage anyone with questions to reach out, and their team is always happy to guide you through the process.
That's great to hear. So to wrap things up, if someone is listening to this feeling inspired and eager to dive into the world of sailing or windsurfing with HSS,
Right.
what's the best way for them to take that first step?
The best starting point is definitely the HSS website.
Okay.
There you'll find detailed information on everything we've discussed today, course schedules, pricing, details on how to obtain skipper rights, and even testimonials from other HSS members.
Great.
They also have an active presence on social media, particularly their Facebook page and Instagram. Okay.
Where they share updates on events, photos, and stories from the HSS community.
Okay.
It's a fantastic way to get a feel for the vibrant community and the incredible experiences that await.
Wonderful. Well, I think we've covered just about everything there is to know about HSS and their incredible sailing and windsurfing offerings.
Yeah.
From the thrill of catching the wind in your sails to the camaraderie of the HSS community, it seems like there's something truly special about experiencing the beauty of the Helsinki archipelago from the water.
Absolutely.
So to our listeners, I leave you with this thought. What adventures await you on the open water? Until next time, fair winds and following seas.